My Southeast trip is officially underway. The first park of the trip is Carowinds, and as you can see, there's Intimidator and Fury 325. Oh my gosh, it is so surreal to finally be here to experience this coaster. And if you saw my Hollywood Nights vlog, then you know that the Voyage, which is currently my #1 coaster, has some pretty tough competition to deal with. And there are 3 coasters that I noted in the vlog that could dethrone it. Fury is the first one. So I'm here for part of today, and then I'll have all day tomorrow to get on these coasters and see how they hold up. And I just cannot wait to see how fast Fury is in person, because that thing looks like it could easily be a top 3 ride for me. So let's go and see how well this thing is running. Just got inside of Carowinds. Gonna book it straight to Fury, because in case that ride closes for whatever reason and is not open tomorrow, I want to make sure to get on it, because that's my top anticipated ride in this park. So to make sure I get on it at least once, I'm gonna head straight over there and get on it. And if the lines aren't bad, I'm gonna do it twice, because Fury is just one of those rides that I feel like I have to ride multiple times, unlike Nighthawk, which actually I believe Nighthawk is going to be the only coaster, to my knowledge, I'll be missing out on, because it's been closed for a while, so I don't know when it's going to reopen. So it's not the worst thing ever, but it would be nice to do that, because I've not done a Vekoma Flying Dutchman yet. So that's the least of my concerns, but now we're going to go straight to Fury, make that the first ride of the trip. Can't wait to see the Fury Plaza in person, because I've seen it in pictures countless times. So I wonder how cool it'll actually look in person, and you can kind of see the lift hill behind the trees right now, lift hill first drop. So can't wait to see how cool it actually looks, and better view of the lift hill. So it looks to be right around the corner from here, and I'm wondering where the heck it is. I mean, this is my first time here, but I think it's more this direction. So I gotta keep going until I find it. Wait a minute, we're not at King's Dominion. What is this? Hurler's not supposed to look like that. Oh gosh, I can kind of see it. Let's see what it, whoa. That entrance sign looks sick. Wow. Oh my gosh, like, yo, this is nuts. Like, holy cow, things just got real. Let's do this. First ride of the trip. Let's see how good this thing actually is. was secured. It might be the only row on this ride for me because when I rode a ride in Kings Island, I thought the back seat was only good for the drop and everything else was better in the front. So I might stick riding front on this. Plus, I don't want to sacrifice the wind in my face. So I might only ride front seat on this, but I'm not 100% sure now. But most likely, I'm going to keep riding front seat on this. There's no way that this is real. I am unbelievably psyched for this ride.
Welcome back, train 3. We're making noise.
That's pretty good. Okay, we're going
Welcome back, train 1. How was that ride? Sounds amazing. Go ahead on the left or speed bump on once the train comes up. Please stop before you overstep below the green line bar.
Just rode Fury 325 for my first time, and that is by far the best work that B&M has ever created. That was unbelievable. But does it top Voyage? I don't think so. But I decided to put it at my number 2 coaster. That was currently held by Top Thrill Dragster. The reason why I gave Fury the edge over Dragster is because Fury, to me, felt just as fast as Dragster, but for a longer period of time. So, I mean, that was just an unbelievable way to start the trip. That was just incredible.
Oh no, I was actually doing this like, hey, did you?
Round 2 on Fury was just incredible. And now I believe I was gonna be heading towards Copperhead Strike because that I think has one train, but they're testing it because it was closed down a little bit ago. And I'm gonna see if I can get on it to make sure I get on in case it's closed all day tomorrow for whatever reason. So we're gonna head towards Copperhead Strike and then maybe check out Afterburn while we're over there. There's Copperhead Strike. We're getting close to it right now. And I think this is my first traditional mock multi-launch because Time Traveler is an extreme spinner. I just don't know if you guys saw that, but there's a train that just went through one of the first. Oh yeah, there's definitely one going right now. So I honestly don't know what to expect from this. I mean, my friend Ryan, who's been in a few of my vlogs, he said it's a really good ride and number 2 in the park. So I'm gonna find out for myself and see if it's actually number 2. And you kind of see there's testing it, and oh boy, that hang time looks epic. So let's go see how good Copperhead Strike actually is and see if it ends up being number 2 in the park by the end of the trip. Which, as of now, it probably will be number 2 in the park because I've only done Fury as of now. So I'm gonna see if Copperhead can hold up to any of the other launch coasters I've ridden. Here's the entrance plaza to it, and I cannot wait to film this thing because the queue line looks to wrap all the way around this ride. And if you watch my videos for a while, then you know I love getting shots of these different rides. And so I cannot wait to film Copperhead from all over the queue line. Let's go in and take a ride on this mock multi-launch. This is an awesome way to get some good shots of this ride. I mean, this thing wraps all over the place. So this is gonna be a fun one to film tomorrow because we only got a few hours left until park closing. So I'm gonna make sure to get some riding in on the major coasters before I go for the night. There's a JoJo roll, and it looks like there's not many people up at the station right now. So let's go and see how quickly we get on this thing. Cannot wait for the front row, so I can't do it. So I'm also gonna take back seat because I figured I might as well take back since front's not available for now. Wow, Copperhead Strike. Even though I got the back row, which is not where I usually prefer to ride forwards launching coasters, that was nuts. Like, too bad I got stapled fairly early on, but that's due to the nature of these mock lap bars. But still, I mean, that was very solid. I am very, very surprised at how good that ride was back there. So I'm gonna go try the front seat now, or let's try to get it. Also, the hang time on this ride, while it was good, it doesn't beat the rollback hang time I got on Mr. Freeze last April. So that was still very, very impressive for the back row. I can only imagine how good that airtime was in the front, because in the back it was great. So let's go try the front row now. One train apps? Seriously?
Open, you can come in and see. Enjoy your ride.
Where's
Please put your foot in the gate. Put that down. Now. Put your foot in the gate. In the gate. Please only on our gate. Everyone take a step back from our gate. Everyone take a step. welcome. Once this train comes to a full
After riding Copperhead Strike in the front seat, I am honestly not sure which is better. I mean, usually with Ford's launcher coasters, I only ride the front and that's it. But this one, I don't know, man. They're close. The back had better air, but the front had the better visuals, better sense of speed. And I thought the JoJo was better in the front, but I don't know. I can't decide. That's definitely something I need to consider for the future. But man, those are two excellent rides though. My brother's currently in line for the mountain gliders right now. And when he gets off, I'm gonna go ride Afterburn. I have high hopes for this B&M invert because I've heard many say it's the most intense one out there. And if the rumors are true, I cannot wait to experience it because right now, my favorite invert is Montu over at Busch Gardens, Tampa. And I think Afterburn does not have the ability to dethrone Montu. I mean, it could, but I doubt it. So I'm projecting Afterburn to be my number 2 invert. But even if it does become my number 1 invert, I am rewriting Montu later on this trip at Busch Gardens, Tampa because I'm going down there for Iron Gwazi. And it'll probably be able to take the top spot back from Afterburn if it does take it. So in the meantime, I'm waiting for him to get off. I'm gonna go get some shots of it and then I'm gonna ride this thing.
Yeah, gang,
Are you filming a music video?
Yeah.
Bro, you'll see this. Time to ride Afterburn, and as I was filming it, it looked like it was running a little bit slow. But then again, this is my first time here, so I don't know if it always runs like that. But if someone who has been to Carowinds frequently or just to home park is watching this, comment below if, based off of the footage you're seeing of Afterburn that I've taken so far, if it's running slow or not. Be sure to let me know. So I'm curious if that was actually how fast it runs or not, which I hope that was just running slow, but I hope this thing is very intense like a lot of people say it is. Because intensity is what I love on B&M inverts. So, you know, Afterburn appears to be really intense. So, let's see if the rumors are true. I just rode Afterburn, and to be honest, I thought it was overrated. I thought it could be my number 2 invert after Montu, but I actually preferred Raptor and Alpengeist to it. I thought it would be really, really intense, but it really wasn't that way at all, actually. Heck, I even kind of thought like some of the Batman clothes were more intense than Afterburn. But then again, I was in the front row, so maybe the back row is way more intense, but I'll ride back row tomorrow and find out. But for now, we're gonna go over and ride Intimidator because that is the last of the major coasters we need to get on, the last of the big 4 that I need to ride before the power closes. So overall, Afterburn, it was good ride, like I enjoyed it, but I was expecting more from it. But then again, maybe I wasn't in the best seat, so I'll have to try back road and find out if it's any better back there.
number one and number one only. When you return to your seat, buckle your orange seat. Almost at his launch, waiting for Matthew. You got home? Train is on, train one, if you guys
For your safety, keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the ride at all times. And against the seat, please hold on to your handlebars until the end.
Number three, when you return to your seat, buckle your orange seatbelt, but do not pull down on the black platform. Once again, buckle your orange. Bye. Welcome back to train three. How was your ride? Buckle your orange seatbelt, push down the loading lever, and exit to your right. Thank you for running Carolina Sky Tower for the rest of the air Carolines.
Just got off of Intimidator, and to be honest with you, with the exception of Raging Bull, that is the worst B&M Hyper I've ridden. The front had some decent air going over the Camelbacks, but in the second half it wasn't that great. It was also a lot rougher than I expected it to be. I mean, it was kind of headache-inducing, to be honest with you, but I still thought it was a fun ride. I mean, I still enjoyed it, but it was one of the weakest ones I've done. I mean, Raging Bull, that's just by far the weakest B&M Hyper. Like, I don't know why I'm starting to hear people call it the best one, or at least one of the best nowadays. Like, it did nothing for me when I rode it last year, so I was kind of underwhelmed by Intimidator, but I'll get the back road try tomorrow, see how good it is back there. But since we got a little under 9 when the park closes, I'm gonna get a few more laps on Fury. Change of plan on doing Fury. Since I am gonna be going outside the park to film a lot tomorrow, and since I might not be getting the Fastlane Plus, I'm gonna make sure I get on a few more of the credits before the park closes. So I'm thinking about doing Ricochet and Hurler at least to make sure I'm done with those, so I don't have to worry about them tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna do, I guess I'll start with Hurler since it's right here and then go over to Ricochet. But for now, let's go see how pathetic Hurler is, I guess, because I've heard a lot of people say that this is a smooth ride, but also boring. So I hope it is that. I mean, I'd rather it be that rather than rough and boring. So I'm gonna get on this, maybe do Ricochet, depending on what time it is. But if I'm off of this fairly quick, I'm gonna go and try and get last train of the night on Fury. So let's ride Hurler for now, I guess. If that line isn't too out, I was gonna go check Ricochet, or maybe even a Carolina Cyclone. But for now, let's ride Hurler. Where's the barrel roll down drop at? Come on. That is it. That is it. There's a bit of a delay going on over here at Hurler, so hopefully to get the ride going fairly soon, because I think there's like about 20 minutes or so left till park closing now. So I want to make sure to get on and off of this in time to go get last train of the night on Fury if possible. Just rode Hurler, and why is that underrated? Like, I don't get why people don't like this ride that much. I actually kind of enjoyed it. There were a couple decent airtime moments thrown in there. I mean, they weren't that great or anything, but I still kind of liked them. And it's definitely not the smoothest ride I've been on, but it's also not the worst. I mean, to be honest, this is probably gonna be something I'll come back for a reride on tomorrow, because I actually enjoyed this ride. So now it's time to go over to Fury and try and get last train of the night on it. Just got a third lap on Fury to end my night out, and that train that's on the left right now, as I was coming out of the gift shop, they were chanting, "One more time, one more time," and the Alps gave it to them. So I feel jealous that they got to go around twice for the last train of the night, but it was still really fun. So for my ride count today, I believe it was 3 on this, 2 on Copperhead, and 1 on Afterburn, Intimidator, and Hurler. This is just a sneak preview of tomorrow, where I'll have all day, so I'll be able to get the remaining credits I need, including Vortex, Carolina Cyclone, Flying Cobras, and everything else I missed. So that was just a good start to Carowinds, and stay tuned for the next part, which will be starting in just a second of the full day. It is time for the full day here at Carowinds, and I'm a few minutes late to opening, but I'll have the Fastlane Plus today, so that's not going to be an issue. However, it is going to cause an issue for me to try and get on Ricochet, I believe, because that is the only coaster in the park that does not have Fastlane available. So if anything, I need to hit that first before that line gets massive, and it probably will move very slow as a result. I saw they were stacking like crazy. So I'm going to go inside the park, get Fastlane Plus, and then start knocking out the remaining credits, starting off with Ricochet.
Like, I don't like it, but I will. Yeah, I would.
It's I'm not. Yeah, I would. Yeah. I need you to get ejected from the train. Open. Really? Yeah. So we're gonna try and ride it, but just was very good. I haven't ridden it. I am. You overrated. It's not like amazing. These crowds to get in are downright massive. This is giving me flashbacks to the day I spent at King's Dominion last August. So I'll post a link to that in the description of this video so you guys can go check out my experience at the park. But that was probably the most crowded day I've ever had at any park. So that's not good. I mean, the problem with King's Dominion is that a lot of the coasters were not available for Fastlane, whereas Carowinds, everything except for, I think, Ricochet is available for Fastlane in terms of major coasters. So I hope that I'll be able to get on all of them fairly quickly today, but maybe not. I'll just have to see how bad the crowds are as the day goes on. Oh, true, yeah, you can do
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you find it? Sorry, did you find
Made it into the park, and I got my Fast Lane Plus for the day. Now I've got to go try and find the entrance to Ricochet because I want to make that my first ride of the day because that's the only coaster in the park that's not included on Fast Lane Plus. So I need to find the entrance to that, get on it ASAP, and then I'll move on from there. But I think Ricochet is somewhere around this time. I got Vortex up there, but I'm actually not sure where the heck Ricochet is, but I'll find it eventually. Now I see Ricochet. There it is, towering over the trees right there, or under them I should say. This thing apparently is only able to run one car on the track at a time because I saw a bunch of stacking, so probably good that I'm doing this one first, and then once I get on this I'll probably do, I think I'm gonna do Carolina Cyclone after that since it's literally right behind it. So for now, actually no, there are two cars going on there, so I guess let's do Ricochet now. That's why he's going so slow. It's harder.
Yeah, Brexit wasn't too bad. That doesn't. You waiting here?
That was Ricochet, and that was probably one of the better Wild Nights I've done. Now, I haven't done too many because I think are the ones I can recall doing. I know Dark Knight, I've done that one. I've also done Coast Rider, Apple's Apple, and Sandstorm, I believe. I don't know if I'm done it or not, but this is definitely one of the better ones I've done. Also, the ops on this thing are so slow. They are so slow with setting these cars out. Like, my gosh. You're asking for trouble if you don't hit this thing first. So now I think I'm gonna go ride Vortex just so I can get it over with, so I don't have to worry about it. But first, I'm gonna get some shots of this ride from the queue line or the exit ramp, because it wraps all around me, which I think is pretty cool. They stopped sending trains out on Ricochet for some reason, for the time being. So I think now I'm gonna go ride Vortex, knock it out, and then probably go over to Carolina Cyclone, since that's literally right over there. But I just want to get Vortex done with. And oh, there's Carolina Gold Rusher right up and right around Vortex right there, so that's pretty nice. Oh, Flying Cobras too. So I still got a few coasters to knock out, but let's get Vortex knocked out since I'm dreading this one.
Alright, and finish coming road on road. Let's clear, ready for dispatch. It's
Good riddance. I hated Kumba at Busch Gardens Tampa last year. God, this is way worse than Kumba. Non-stop headbanging the entire ride. So uncomfortable. It was just unbelievable dumpster fire of a creation. Like, this is easily the worst B&M I've ever ridden and one of the worst coasters I've ever ridden, period. I just don't know why this ride exists. It is so bad. Seriously, someone, like, do something about this. Like, Carowinds, I don't know if you're watching this, but if you are, please convert this into a floorless coaster ASAP. Thank you. Now that I've done Vortex and gotten that out of the way, I'm gonna go over and ride Carolina Cyclone. Hopefully I don't get destroyed nearly as bad on that as I did on Vortex, which, gosh, Vortex was an awful ride experience. So, I'm pretty sure Carolina Cyclone will be better than that. Plus, I do have Ninja at my home park in Six Flags St. Louis, and if I can tolerate that, then Carolina Cyclone should be no problem for me. So let's go and figure out where the entrance is. And actually, there's a station over there, so I think the entrance is right around the corner somewhere. Actually, I can kind of see it right over there. So we're gonna make that our next credit of the day.
Carolina Cyclone, welcome to the gate on Narcissus, welcome to my seatbelt. Go train, you feel your ride, make some noise. Did you enjoy your ride? Fantastic. You guys can go ahead and unbuckle your seatbelts. As your ride comes to a full vehicle green stop, go down and push open your seatbelt seats, exit to the right, then we can kind of
That was actually a really solid aero looper. I don't think it's Canyon Blaster level over at the Adventure Dome, but it's up there. And this little pop of airtime right here, this little hill, had some strong airtime I managed to get up front. Like, I was not expecting that. And there was a helix at the end that I also wasn't ready for, so that was kind of a nice surprise. So Carolina Cyclone, not bad. Pretty good ride, actually. I think now I'm gonna start making my way over towards Flying Cobras and Carolina Gold Rush, because those are, to my knowledge, the only two coasters or major ones in the park that I haven't done yet. And then I'll need Kitty Hawk and Woodstock Express. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's basically Woodstock Express to my knowledge. And then also, whatever I think it was, the other Kitty coaster, I forgot what it was. So I still need Flying Cobras, Gold Rush, and then the 3 Kitty coasters. So I'm gonna start heading towards Flying Cobras, which we'll saw back this way, and then also Carolina Gold Rush, which is right near Vortex, and I both those out first. Found Carolina Gold Rusher first, so it looks like we're gonna be doing this first before moving on to Flying Cobras, which is right over here.
You go like this. No, you don't. I already went on the What'd you say? I did. I tried it. No, that's not.
The other thing I was thinking is maybe sometimes we could
You guys out here make some noise. You guys are out of here, make some noise.
Welcome back, riders. How was that ride? Nice. Please wait for the ride to come to a full and complete stop. Once it's done, you may unbuckle, but remain seated until the ride attendant raises your lap bar.
Just got off of Carolina Gold Rusher. At first, I thought like it was gonna be like better than Adventure Express. Like by the time we got to the second lift, but then at the second lift hill, it went through a helix and into a tunnel into the final break. So it was a lot shorter than I thought it would be. So I think I might give Adventure Express the slight edge for being a bit longer of a ride. Also, that whistle at the end of Adventure Express is hilarious. So I'm gonna rank Carolina Gold Rush as my third favorite mine train for now. Behind Adventure Express, and then Thunderation's still king for me. And now I'm gonna hit a ride on Flying Cobras as the last of the major coasters I need here, then I'll have kiddie coasters left.
We got the better ride, make some noise! Alright.
Just rode Flying Cobras, and why was that more intense than Afterburn? Like seriously, I thought that was way more forceful than Afterburn was. That was surprising, but then again, Afterburn it was like nearly empty train, this was a full train, so I think that may have had something to do with it. But that was still really, really solid. And I really like the vest restraints that these boomerangs have, or that this one has. Really makes me wish that others that don't have vest restraints do have them instead, because they're really, really nice. And I bet that if more boomerangs had these vest restraints, then a lot more people would like them. So that was pretty solid. And now I think I'm gonna go try and find Boo Blasters, because that is a shooting duck ride, and if you've watched me for a while, then you know I'm a huge shooting duck ride fan. So I gotta find a way to get on Boo Blaster soon. So let's go figure out where in the world it is. I think I'm gonna get some Copperhead footage from the queue line before going over to Boo Blasters. I believe it was over by Windseeker, which is right over here. But because I'm right here next to Copperhead, I figure I might as well get some footage of it in the meantime.
Is that so that I can either be here? Oh, that is okay. Oh, I like that. I'm ready to post.
Just got done filming Copperhead for a while, and I actually ran into Airtime Monkey over there, who's photographing and filming it as well. I'll post a link to his Instagram account in the description of this video so you guys can check it out. But here we are. It looks like Boo Blasters is right here, so let's do this. I'm wondering how much different this will be compared to the one at Kings Island, because I'm pretty good at that particular one. So let's try this one out and see how I do. Just rode Boo Blasters 3 times in a row, and this one is way harder than the one at Kings Island for whatever reason. I don't know why it's so much harder, but on my first ride I was 1 target short of Master Blaster, which that did happen to me once at Kings Island last year. Second time I wasn't even close, but then the third time I got what is supposedly the best car, which is car 7, because that's the only one that had the lasers apparently. And I got a huge assist there because I was stacking for, I don't know, 30 to 45 seconds in one of the rooms fairly early on in the ride, so that helped out significantly. But other than that, I feel like I rocked it on this ride for the most part, especially on that third ride. The other 2 rides weren't so hot, but that third ride I did awesome with. So now I'm thinking about moving on towards Afterburn and riding that in the back row after a while. So I did front seat yesterday. gotten some shots of Afterburn running from the plaza over near the ride. I'm gonna take a back row ride on it and see if it can redeem itself after the semi-underwhelming front row ride I got yesterday. So let's go give back row another try and see, or just try back row in general, and see if it's as good as I was hoping it would be or not. Also, this thing is like constant, like 3 to 4 minute dispatch times, which is ridiculous. Usually these B&M inverts should be no more than 1.5 to 2 minutes per dispatch, but Afterburn's like double that, which is ridiculous. So that's frustrating. Wow, that was really, really intense. That was the Afterburn I was expecting the first time. I much preferred the backseat ride over the front seat ride I got yesterday. Now, I do want to try front later on to see if the front row ride I got yesterday was just a fluke, because I think it just might have been running slow yesterday, so it wasn't nearly as intense, but based off my back row ride, it was awesome. So now I think I'm gonna go ride Fury, because I haven't done that today yet, and then check some of the kitty credits on the way to head outside the park and film Fury, Intimidator, and Copperhead Afterburn, because I saw all 4 of those run right alongside the parking lot to an extent, so I'm gonna go out to the park after a while and film them after I give Fury a ride or two. I think I'm gonna check the line for Kitty Hawk while I'm right here before going over to ride Fury. And there it is, Nighthawk just sitting there. Not the biggest loss. I mean, it could be any of the big 4 that could be closed. And I wasn't really excited for Nighthawk anyway, but maybe someday I'll be able to get on this if it's around by the next time I get back here. Kitty Hawk's line is not too bad, it looks like, so I guess I'll get this credit knocked out and then go over and ride Fury. I wonder just how bad this ride is, because I've heard a lot of people say it's really rough. Like, I'm not excited for this ride, so let's go on and get it over with, I guess.
Welcome back, riders. Please unbuckle your safety belt and pull up on your...
Or cell phones, they're ready to go deeply inside a pocket or alongside DD. Once again, bags, hats, glass without straps, or cell phones, they're not today on this ride, they're ready to go deeply inside a pocket or alongside DD.
Welcome back, riders. Please unbuckle your safety belt and pull up on your shoulder harness and safely exit to your right. Thank you.
I don't get why people hate this ride so much. I mean, there was one turn before the final race. It was this one right over here. I'm zooming in on it right now. Like, that little transition right there, that was a bit jarring. But other than that, it was just fine. I just kept my head forward the entire time and didn't really bang my head at all. So, I think it's nowhere near as bad as people say it is.
For your safety during your flight, please do not put your feet on the seat back in front of you.
Now that Kitty Hawk is done, I'm gonna finally make my way over to Fury and ride it, because I haven't ridden it yet today because I've been busy getting new credits for the most part. So I'm gonna go, I think, do 2 laps on that, then head outside of the park, get some shots of the rides, and then I think I'm gonna come back in and get the remaining credits, and then also ride Intimidator in the back row, because I did front row yesterday and I was kind of underwhelmed by it, so I wonder how back row will be. But for now, let's go ride Fury, aka the best B&M ever built, at least in my opinion. All hail the entrance to the best B&M ever created. Holy cow, that was fast. I forgot just how wild Fury is in the front. That definitely felt like 95 miles an hour to me. So I think now I'm gonna go outside of the park and start filming this ride, because there's a lot of angles I need to get from out there. So we got plenty of time until the park closes, so I think I'm gonna go outside and get that done now, and then come back in, get the remaining credits I need, and then get re-rides on stuff. So we're gonna do that. Made it to the exit. Time to go outside and start filming some stuff. I cannot wait to film Fury through these fence holes, man. This is gonna be some awesome, awesome photos and videos I'm gonna be able to grab at this ride. That trimmed Camelback, it looks like the trim brake on it might be turned off because as I'm filming it and watching it at the same time while waiting for the next shot, it looks like the trim is not hitting because I'm not hearing the sound it makes when it hits. So that's really nice. So I think I'm gonna have to go ride Fury after a while after I get done inside the park, or outside the park, sorry. But I just love the views of this ride from out here. It just looks fantastic. So now I'm gonna start heading back towards this direction, eventually start working my way out towards Intimidator, but we still got some shots to get from over here for now. Haven't heard another train on Fury go in a while, so I hope it's not broken down. But in case it is, I think I'm gonna start making my way out towards Intimidator, which is over there, and then come back to Fury at some point if they get it up and running, because this is like the worst time for it to have broken down when I'm outside the park filming it. So I certainly hope that's not the case, but it's very possible it could have. So in the meantime, let's start moving towards Intimidator. Never mind, it's still going, so I guess we're not going anywhere just yet. Just checked the Carowinds app and Fury is apparently down right now. So that's just wonderful. I guess in the meantime, I'm gonna go over and film Intimidator and Afterburn and Copperhead and then come back here a little bit. And if Fury's not open by the time I get back here, I'm gonna be frustrated. Of course, Fury decides to break down the worst possible time. Like, I would rather have been any other time except for before I got my first run on it yesterday. Like, of all times I could have chosen to go down, it had to have been right now. Like, seriously, it's ridiculous. So, I guess let's go over and film Intimidator. Are you serious right now? Are you really testing again? I'm gonna start working my way down the lot here, filming Intimidator, Afterburn, and eventually Copperhead as well if possible. So let's start off with Intimidator and see how many good shots we can get of that. Because I know the whole out and back section runs right alongside the parking lot, so it should be fairly easy to get. So let's go find out how easy it actually is to film. It might be kind of hard to see, but there's one of the victims. That's why people often call it Intimidator. That trim did hit quite hard yesterday, and it most likely will whenever I ride it again in a little bit after I'm done outside the park here. there's the side entrance to Carowinds over here near Afterburn. But it's unfortunately closed, so I can't go in over there. But I can get some shots of Afterburn from right around here. I'm fairly limited for right now because that whole entrance area is blocked off. But if anything, I'll be able to get some good shots of Afterburn's bat wings. So, and we got the shot of Intimidator's turnaround right here, which is nice. So I think I'm gonna wait for Afterburn and Intimidator to come back through so I can get some more shots of it from here. I kind of like how a copperhead stripe looks from this fence over near the entrance to Hurricane Harbor, or Carolina Harbor, sorry, not Hurricane Harbor. This is a good shot of the back half of the ride, so definitely interesting. I think I'm going to start heading all the way back towards the front entrance of Carowinds and then heading back inside the park. But on the way, I'll get some shots I missed of Afterburn, Intimidator, and especially Fury, because there's quite a bit I missed of Fury flying all over the front gate, so I got to make sure to get those especially before heading back into the park. spent over 2 hours outside the park getting shots. Yeah, you heard that right, 2 hours. Now I'm finally gonna go back inside of Carowinds and get the remaining credits I need. And then I think I might do Intimidator in the back row first, since I'm pretty close to it, and then I'll get the remaining credits I need and get some more shots of the coasters I haven't gotten much footage of yet. Made it back to Intimidator. Let's try the back row on it and see if it's any better than the front row, which for most B&M Hypers, I think for some of them I should say, I think I prefer them in the back, whereas some of them I prefer up front. So I think it'll be pretty easy for Intimidator to be better in the back seat because my front seat ride was not the greatest. So let's go and hop on this thing and see how much shorter the back row line is in the front, because I can almost bet it's going to be way shorter than that in the front, because a lot of people tend to wait in the front, assuming there's not somebody assigning seats. Intimidator is absolutely a ride that is best towards the back of the train. All the airtime was so much better back there. And it also helps that the op that was on the side of the station that I was on left me a ton of room, so I was absolutely flying, especially on the first drop. So I think I am going to put this over a polished Chariot, but I don't think I can put it any higher than that, because I do have Goliath over it, and I think Goliath still is slightly better. But overall, Intimidator was much better today than it was last night. I think the full trains definitely helped here. Now I've got to go hunt down the last 2 credits I need, which I think are Woodstock Express, and I think the other one is named Wilderness Run, I think. I'm gonna have to double check that, but last I checked it was named Wilderness Run. So I've got to go get on those 2. Hopefully I want to be off of those by 7 if possible. So let's go get a ride on both of those. And there goes Intimidator. So, oh, there's a really full moon over there. Quite cool, as a full moon almost over there. So that'd be awesome to ride Fury in that in a little bit, but for now, let's go and ride Woodstock Express.
Well, here we go.
Enjoy your ride on the Woodstock Express. Enjoy your ride on the Woodstock Express.
Comes to a full and complete stop, and a camp counselor will be around to unbuckle your seat.
So cell phones that are not permitted here at Carowinds.
Got off the Woodstock Express and I decided to do it in the background instead of waiting after the front, mainly to get on quicker. And I feel like that was a good call because there was some pretty good airtime moments on that ride in the back row. Like, it was actually quite strong and surprising. Like, the drop off of the main lift and the drop off the first turnaround immediately were the ones that really threw me off. So that was really surprising. I would say better than one at Kings Island for sure. Did not know you could get the shot of Intimidator's drop, but I'm gonna get it. So, and you can kind of see there's a train going up, so let's get it.
Remain seated and keep arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times.
Jack, do you want to go? Jack?
exhausted. I was too tall to ride this without a child. At least I've ran a ride that's similar to it. I've done Canyon Blaster at Six Flags Magic Mountain, which is I think a near clone or an exact clone of this ride. So I kind of know what to expect with that ride, but it's not the biggest deal. So I guess that means for now I have park completion because Nighthawk isn't open. So I think now I'm gonna go get some shots of the coasters I don't have much footage of, like Hurler, Vortex, Ricochet, and all those rides. So let's go head towards those coasters. And also Flying Cobras as well. I don't know if I said that one yet, but those rides, we're gonna go and film right now. Wait time is 2 hours. That's an understatement. More like several days because Nighthawk is closed for a while. So that's unfortunate, I guess, but I probably would have hated it anyways because I've heard it's really, really uncomfortable. And you guys already know my thoughts on Vortex and how I despise that ride. So I don't see why I would like Nighthawk either. But anyway, let's film Vortex. And actually, this observation deck is open. I'm gonna ride that in just a minute after I get some shots of Vortex from right here because I haven't done this observation deck. I don't recall the last time even being able to do one because the last few times I visited Six Flags Great America, theirs was closed, and then the one at SeaWorld Orlando was also closed. So I don't remember the last time I've done one of these, and I bet you get some good shots of the park from up there. So I'm gonna have to hop on that in just a bit once it gets back here and take in the views from up there.
Carowinds still holds the title of the United States. It's situated between two states. Carowinds' original vision of Carowinds is to transform it into a larger ticket area that will include hotels, a shopping center, gardens, and museums. Carowinds eventually became part of the Paramount Park family, which was owned by Washington, and for nearly 13 years was referred to as Paramount's Carowinds. On July 1st, 2006, Carowinds became part of City Fair Entertainment Company, one of the largest regional news events, the Great Pumpkin Fest during the fall, and Winterfest and New Year's Eve during the holidays. Carowinds currently boasts two coasters in North America, and one of the largest collection of roller coasters on the East Coast. Off in the distance, you will see our signature ride,
Those were some awesome views of Carowinds from up there. Fury looked good, Afterburn looked especially nice, Intimidator looked good, Nighthawk, really every coaster up there looked awesome. So definitely do not skip this ride if you're into photography or videography like I am. So now that I've done Carolina Sky Tower, I think I'm gonna hit another ride on Fury since I'm right next to it. I'm gonna ride that again before filming Ricochet and Vortex some more. And you kind of see the train going up there. I'm honestly not sure if I'm gonna try the back. I think I might. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe doing it, but I'm not sure. I mean, I'll see what happens when I get up there. But overall, I'm having a great time at Carowinds. And even though there's about a couple hours left, this is still a great park for me. Going for round 5 on Fury as a trip. It's shocking that I've only done 4 rides on Fury up until now. You'd think I have like 6 or 7, but this is my first time here, so I bet next time I'm here I'd be riding Fury a lot more, and I wouldn't have to worry about riding rides like Vortex or Woodstock Express or anything like that. So let's ride Fury again. I was gonna ride Fury again, but I ended up getting assigned to row 3, which that's pretty much towards the middle of the train, so I figured it wouldn't be worth it to ride I do want to ride Hurler again. I think I'm gonna go ride Hurler now, and then check back at Fury in a little bit because I hate assigned seating. That's like my #1 pet peeve with amusement parks. So I'm gonna go and try Hurler again, see if it's running any better than it was yesterday. That was way better than yesterday's ride on it, and I thought yesterday's ride was awesome. So I don't know, like I even got some more airtime, like more so than yesterday. So this ride really impressed me. Probably the biggest surprise of the trip for me, honestly. I think if I was gonna make an underrated coasters ever in video, which I might actually do sometime down the line after this trip and whatnot, expect to see Hurler on the list because this thing is gonna be up there for me. It's stupid underrated. Like, no one talks about it, but I think it's definitely worth riding if you come to Carowinds. Just got word that there's no grouper up here at Fury right now, which that's nice because I wanted to wait to ride it until there was no grouper up there so I can choose whatever seat I wanted to get. So let's go and ride it now that there's hopefully no one assigning seats up there so I can grab the front row with these. Fury 325 in the sunset. That was just awesome. Look at that sunset over there. Come on, it's awesome. So cannot wait to get some night rides on this thing after a while. But for now, let's go for round 6. My gosh, is this ride addicting. Every time I ride it, I'm so amazed every time. It's so good. Almost pitch black out now. And you can kind of see it's still kind of like a little bit light out. But I bet by the time I get on, it'll be pretty much pitch black, if not all the way pitch black. So once it's fully dark out, I cannot wait to ride this thing until it's fully dark out. Because this thing is absolutely bonkers today. Just got by far my worst ride on Fury of the trip. I unfortunately could not wait for the front row, so I got stuck with row 7. This is absolutely a front row ride. Got row 8 this time. Let's see if this is any better than row 7, because row 7 was bad. So hopefully it's better. Just did the back row, which was better than row 7, but it's still nowhere close to the front row for me. I mean, I'll have a full review for this ride sometime down the line so you guys can check out my full thoughts on the ride and everything, but in short, this is by far a front row ride, and for me, it's not even close. I believe I have time for one more night ride, and hopefully, just hopefully, I can make this one be in the front, because I really want a front row night ride, because I've only gotten night rides towards the back of the train, and I really want to know what a front row night ride on this thing is like. So I just gotta hope that I get lucky and get assigned to the front row. But knowing my luck, that's probably not gonna happen because I always have the worst luck with groupies, like the worst luck. I mean, getting denied an empty back row on Raptor at Cedar Point. I mean, come on, ridiculous. Let's go, we got it. Perfect. Finally got that elusive front row night ride that everyone talks about with this ride. That was by far my best ride I've ever had on Fury. but it does not top Voyage for me. Velocicoaster and Iron Gwazi are the top two contenders that are still left. Fury came close, but it could not take the crown from the Voyage. But that front row night ride, pretty freaking excellent, if you ask me. Today was a very solid day at Carowinds. For my ride count, I managed 8 rides on Fury, 3 on Boo Blasters, 1 on the Carolina Sky Tower, which the observation tower went on a little while ago. And then I did 1 on every other coaster with the exception of Copperhead Strike, because I did not ride that thing today. And then obviously Nighthawk and, well, Nighthawk was closed and I was too tall for Wilderness Run, so I couldn't ride either of those. But other than that, I feel like my ride count for today was solid. Over the course of my day and a half here at Carowinds, I managed 11 rides on Fury 325, 3 on Boo Blasters, 2 on Afterburn, Copperhead Strike, Hurler, and Intimidator, 1 on Carolina Sky Tower, and 1 on every other coaster that was operating, with the exception of Nighthawk and Wilderness Run. This is a very solid park, and I think it might be my top 5. For me, my top 5 parks as of now is Holiday World at number 1, Cedar Point at number 2, Six Flags Magic Mountain at number 3, and Kings Island at number 4, and then Six Flags Over Georgia at number 5. For me, it's really between this and Over Georgia for number 5 spot, but whichever one Carowinds is not, it is definitely either number 5 or number 6. Before you click on this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and turn the bell on so you get notified for every time I upload. And trust me, you're going to want to subscribe if you haven't already, because there's still plenty more content coming from the Southeast trip I'm doing, including the next vlog, which will be from Universal Orlando Resort. This includes Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure, and you will be getting my first thoughts on Velocicoaster in the next vlog, so stay tuned for it.